traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st century economy, entertainment and tourism. These are the visionary strategic pillars that has transformed the city of Lagos. Let's talk progress on the City of Lagos TV show. Thanks for joining us. You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Welcome to the Lagos Agencies in Focus. This is a platform where we endeavor to ascertain and confirm the level of success, achievements of strategic agencies in Lagos State. But first, for indigents of Lagos State in any pre or tertiary institution across Nigeria, the dream to aspire, attain, and achieve academic success is of critical importance, especially when it has to do with financial empowerment to achieve the set objective. And of course, there is a strategic agency that is saddled with the responsibility to make sure that this dream is realized. We're talking about the Lagos State Scholarship Board. What has been the level of success so far? Initiatives, efforts, programs, and projects of this agency to deliver on its vision, mission, and mandate. We're going to find out this and more after this break. We'll be right back. All right, you're welcome back. You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show. Just join us on the program is the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Scholarship Board, Rashidat Daranijo. To her, the agency is of critical importance. She brings a wealth of experience to bear with a very dynamic team to achieve its set objectives. So let's welcome Rashidat Daranijo, Executive Secretary, Lagos State Scholarship Board. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on the program.
It's good to be here.
First, can you give us a brief professional background of yourself?
Okay, I'm Rashidat Daranijo. I'm a legal practitioner. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Resource Management. I am a chartered arbitrator. I have a master's in business administration, and I am currently the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Scholarship Board.
Fantastic. Now, from an historical perspective, when was the Lagos State Scholarship Board established? What are its major terms of reference, vision, and mission statement, and most importantly, the membership structure?
Okay, it was created in 1968, right after the creation of Lagos State. So one of the oldest agencies that the government created. The vision is to really visibly be the agency that provides financial assistance to students of Lagos descent and then ensure that they get a proper education. Our mission is to ensure capacity building by ensuring that citizens of Lagos go through all the steps of education. And we have 10 core departments that all work together to ensure that we fulfill our mandate. So we have the Executive Secretary's office. We have 3 technical departments. That would be the bursary department, scholarship department, and the PASS. PASS is a new department that came up from innovation. It's partnership and assessment. Okay, then we have admin department, admin and human resources. We have planning, research and statistics. We have public affairs. We have finance and accounts. We have audit. We have the ICT and we have procurement unit.
Okay. As a board, you have your functions and responsibilities. And so how have you brought this to play to accelerate and improve access to quality education, reduce financial hardship, and supported human capital development in Lagos State.
That's the whole mandate. And the fact that we're under the Ministry of Tertiary Education, we are an appendage to seeing that tertiary institutions function as they should. So we assist the government to provide financial assistance to students in tertiary institutions. How have we done that? We do it on a yearly basis. They've done it since 1968. I'm not aware of any time, there was a pause. They introduced new things, pause, programs in response to whatever other government policies are there. So as far as I remember, bursary has been constant.
Let's look at the pillars of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. We're talking about the Themes Plus agenda. Where does the scholarship board fall in within the Themes Plus agenda? And to what extent have you actualized the intentions of that agenda?
The Themes Plus agenda, the E is education and technology. We support education. That's the primary cause of what we do. We deploy technology in making our systems more seamless. So on the themes, it's the E, education and technology, both of which we support vehemently. And that's what I've seen that has even helped us move from point A to point B. On the plus side of it is no man is left behind. So social inclusion, youth integration. The education part also speaks to youth because the people that are getting educated are mostly the youth, even though we cater to the older generation as well for masters and PhD. So on the plus side of it is social inclusion. And in 2025, last year, we introduced for the first time 2 other categories of scholarships that we give at the board. And that's for the multidimensionally poor and vulnerable people and the people living with disabilities. Now, for those 2 categories, it differs from everything that the board has done since her inception, because we've always catered to the indigents of Lagos State. But for these 2 categories, you do not have to be an indigent of Lagos State. You only have to reside here. Yes, reside here and attend a tertiary institution in Lagos State.
Before you came on board, and now that you're on board, obviously there's been some very remarkable achievements and efforts. Can you give us a scorecard, a very broad scorecard of your administration as the executive secretary of the board since you came on the seat?
Prior to this time, we used to have paper applications. We also used to have payments for enrollments for applications for bursary scholarships. But Mr. Governor graciously did away with that. So now to apply for scholarship or bursary is completely free of charge. There is no payment required. So you just have to get on the portal and then apply. And then we've completely moved away from paper applications. So before you would have to fill in by hand, but now we've migrated using technology. I mean, we're 90% because this is the first time we're using it. So we're still, seeing how that goes, but so far so good. And before now, we have the application open all year round. So I can actually apply in January, you can apply in November. But now we have a centralized enrollment where it's open one time and it closes at a disclosed time as well. So we let you know how long it's open for, and then the portal closes when it closes. When the portal opens, we expect that you fill in your application by yourself so that the data is correct as you know it. So once we close the portal, we sort through the applications and then we divide the applicants into whatever division they claim on their application. So we divide them into 5 divisions, which are the Ibile divisions. So right after the portal closes, we set a date for verification. So I have 2 types of verification. There's the academic verification and there's the indigentship verification. So right after the closure of the portal, we go to the indigentship verification. We start with Ikorodu, Ekpe, and Badagry simultaneously and have the panelists from those divisions interview the applicants to see if they are truly indigents of the parts of Lagos that they claim. So we do those three divisions first, thereafter move to Ikeja and Lagos divisions. We also collate the names and then send for academic verification to the institutions that the students are attending to verify that they're actually students registered there for the academic pursuit. And the turnout in every division was impressive. Even people that have been here longer than I have been have said they haven't seen that type of crowd. It says to me that the marketing that we're trying to do, we're being more vocal about the opportunities that they get from the government. And so in Ikorodu, where we used Lasostec, every day was a large turnout. In Badagry, we used Laswed in Otoijanikin, also had a huge turnout of students. I think people are more aware of this. Even in Ekpe, the turnout was very remarkable. In Lagos Division, where we used the St. George's, everywhere students appear to be more aware of the opportunities that the scholarship board affords them from the government. So I'm quite impressed because if I even compare last year's to this year, I see that people have become more aware and I guess now trust us a little more than maybe they did before now. So it's impressive.
Well, in case you're just joining us, you're still watching Lagos Agencies in Focus, and we've been speaking with the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Scholarship Board. Now, Madam, what strategic approach does the board employ to ascertain eligibility? We know you've done your verification size, and of course, the benefits, the timeline, application, and procedures of the scholarship scheme.
I don't set the timeline. The only timeline I can actually control is when I open the application portal and when I close it. I can also set the timetable for the indigenship verification exercise. After that, it's now back to the collaborators, all the people I collaborate, which is the institutions. So as I said, I do the indigenship verification, which is what I can control. Academic verifications, on the other hand, means that I have to send names to institutions for them to verify that those prospective beneficiaries actually attend those schools. Until they get back to us, we can't tick that box. So if I say the turnaround time is 4 weeks, I can't really guarantee that until they come back to us. So I wouldn't put a timeline to, the closure of those. Only the measures that I can ascertain, which is the application and the indigenship verification. And also there's another angle to it, which is the CBT that I do for scholarship applicants. After that is back to the institutions. I have to wait for them to come back to me with the information that I need to verify that those students are actually in school.
How do you really monitor them? Because sometimes you could have a situation where the student is out of school and he or she is collecting scholarship or bursary. So we're looking at, is there any interconnectivity in terms of communication between the board and the institutions, especially the ones that are outside Lagos?
I have the audit unit and I also have the planning, research and statistics. So from time to time, we also visit institutions for different reasons, just so that the collaboration works better. But even if I didn't conduct those visits, that's what the academic verification is for. So if I send you an email saying, Rashida Daranija says she's studying law at the Lagos State University, her matriculation number is ABC. It's for the school to then respond, and they usually respond to say, Rashida Daranija is currently a student of our institution, or Rashida Daranija was formerly a student of this school and is currently not registered as a student studying in this institution. So if I get that sort of email, that answers my question too. So even if the child says, I'm attending LASU, when LASU comes back to me and says that student is not in this institution, then we don't verify that student and the student doesn't get paid.
As a very strategic agency in the education sector, there will be need for you. Of course, it's be obvious that you have critical stakeholders you work with. So what is the nature of that synergy? And which of the agencies or other stakeholders do you work with to achieve your set objectives?
Okay, so I work with institutions across board. We communicate frequently. I need them as much as my students need them to respond to when we. So sometimes when a particular institution is particularly slow, we then make it a priority to visit to let them know what's at stake. Because oftentimes they may think it's from scholarship, but I know it's not from me, so I have to, make that extra step to say, listen, we sent you this email dated so, we're waiting for you to respond so that, the indigents of Lagos can actually be paid. Internally, I also work with other agencies on the inside if institutions are on the outside. I mentioned that in 2025, last year, we introduced two new categories of scholarship beneficiaries. That's people living with disabilities. Now we have the Lagos State Office of Disability Affairs, LASODA. LASODA is the one that takes care of people with disabilities. And so when we want to verify if the applicant is a person living with disabilities, I write to LASODA to see if the person is registered. If the person isn't, then I also advise the person to go to LASODA to register so that it's easier. So I work very closely with LASODA. That works very well because for us, we're only providing financial assistance. LASODA will provide so many other things. So for the multidimensionally poor and vulnerable people, we have a social register that is domiciled in the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. There's a register there, and they know the people that are classified as multidimensionally poor and vulnerable. So when they see the register and have the students that are in tertiary institutions, then they supply us with that. We go back, we take the number that we can accommodate, and then see that they're paid and assisted for the year in school.
How would you describe the level of support the agency have gotten from Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu?
Level of support from Mr. Governor has been great. The kind of approval I need to pay the students can come from no other person but Mr. Governor. And if I've been able to say that I cleared the backlogs, it's only because he approved of the fund. So it's been great. We wouldn't be able to do anything without his support.
When it has to do with funding, we are aware, Lagos, that there are very prominent individuals and corporate institutions, just like you have with the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, with recent inauguration of the Lagos State Sports Trust Fund. For a scholarship board like Lagos, you need all the funds you can get so that you can increase the amount for scholarship and bursary. But how much do you give now? And is it possible for you to bring on board corporate institutions to also support you?
Yes, I mentioned the new department that was created, partnership and assessment. So we're actually allowed now to go into partnerships with people. So the prominent people you're talking about, if they're willing to support, they can. And I've gone into some partnerships, but we obviously can do a lot more in that regard. So I have partners that specify the kind of people they want to sponsor. For example, a family wants to sponsor people that are into the IT world. So yes, we have partners like that. We don't have a trust fund because I suppose it's the pride of the government to say that she has a budgetary allocation for her indigents to go to tertiary institutions. But we welcome partners to fill in whatever other voids or be specific as to their specialties.
For the benefit of indigents of Lagos, both the prospective and the current ones benefiting from the scheme, information is key.
Yes.
And it's quite important for other indigents across the country to be able to reach out to the agency. So what are your social media handles and all the means of communication with the agency?
Are you an indigent of Lagos State? Have you heard of the Lagos State Scholarship Board? If you haven't, I suppose you should get on your social media now and look for us at Lagos Scholar on Instagram or Lagos State Scholarship Board on Facebook. Our emails are lagosscholarship@lagosstate.gov.ng and then lagos-scholarship@lagosstate.gov.ng. Additionally, you should already be a member of your National Union of Lagos State Students at all your registered institutions. That way, you're able to get the information that you need regarding the opportunities that the government has for you. I hope you will take this time to join, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Now, what are the challenges faced by the board? What efforts are you taking to mitigate against them? Are there challenges really?
We cleared the backlogs.
Okay.
It's multiple applications. It's people not following the application process through and believing they have. So you can fill an application, you have your incomplete details, or you put somebody else's account number, somebody else's email, or one person applies for multiple people. So even when we send messages out, only one person receives it, and then the other people are shut out. So now we insist on people filling it by themselves, taking the whole process on by themselves so that their information is captured and we can reach them as opposed to excluding them.
What are the future projections, innovative strategies and initiatives of the agency to improve service delivery, especially in the area of funding and making sure that everybody is happy?
So for funding, there's been talk of, a scholarship fund. Okay. There's been talk of diaspora funding, which we can still explore. Future strategies leverage more on technology. I said the API isn't working now, but that's not dependent on us. We have it, but other institutions have to be able to fix theirs so that we can dial in and then have it on the go. When I attended indigeneity verification, for example, we were all outside for as long as we had to be. We all had to travel down for wherever it is that you school. If you couldn't, then you miss out. But now people don't have to physically come to us. We have the hybrid. So we have physical verification and people do it online as well. So we continue to leverage on whatever other opportunities are there to avoid excluding anyone. So if you're in Sokoto, for example, I'm sure you took part in an online verification as opposed to having to come down, to our office to do your verification. So,
all right. Finally, what's your word of assurance and encouragement to existing and prospective beneficiaries, parents, guardians, and critical stakeholders?
You have our assurances at the Lagos State Scholarship, but that we understand what the mandate is, and we will do our very best. We remain committed, and I assure you that for everyone that completes the application process, and as long as the funding is available, you will get what is due to you, as you already get. So I encourage you to continue to spread the word, because I see that now more and more people are aware. So I thank you for spreading the gospel, and you have our assurances on our side that we'll do what we have been doing and we'll do better. To intending partners, we have opportunities to partner with you. So I look forward to anybody looking to partner with the Lagos State Scholarship Board with the view to sponsoring people through tertiary institutions in whether general specialties or particular specialties. So we look forward to partnering opportunities.
Rashidat Daramijo, I want to thank you very much, man. I wish you all the success.
Thank you very much.
Well, the dream to aspire, attain and achieve success in education can only be achieved mostly when you consider financial empowerment, because education is expensive. And so the Scholarship Board, to a large extent, has been able to meet up with its set objectives and vision in line with the Themes Plus agenda to deliver on quality education and, of course, making success out of every policy by the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration. The City of Lagos TV show will continue in a moment after this break. Stay tuned. The City of Lagos is home to all. Please feel free, feel at home in your city, my city, our city, the city of Lagos. Thanks for watching.